Hey, what's up, Good Life? Thanks for joining me for today's 128 moment. This past Sunday, as we continued our series called The Gospel, we encountered the worst moment in Peter's life. The moment when he denied Jesus 3 times while Jesus was on trial for his life. And from that scene, we vividly saw that because of Jesus and what he accomplished at the cross, the good news of the gospel tells us that even our worst moments can be forgiven. So we landed on 3 ways that our lives should be shaped by the gospel. That gospel people are quick to ask for forgiveness from God and from others. That gospel people are quick to offer forgiveness. And that gospel people don't forget to forgive themselves. So why is forgiveness so essential to our understanding of the gospel? Well, it's because forgiveness is essential for the gospel to ever be seen in us. And nothing conceals the beauty of the gospel quite like the darkness of an unforgiving heart. So if we're going to be a people who are shaped by the gospel, then we need to live lives that are marked by forgiveness. But you know, and I know it's not always easy to offer forgiveness, but we seem very quick to receive it, don't we? I believe much of our struggle to extend forgiveness to others comes from our failure to properly define the term. So if we're going to be a people who are shaped by the gospel, it is vital that we understand what forgiveness is not. So in this 128 moment, I want to share something I've shared before, but something that bears repeating. I don't even remember exactly where the list began or where it came from, so my apologies if I'm not giving credit where credit is due. But here are 7 things that forgiveness is not. The first one is this: forgiveness is not dependent upon an apology. To do this puts the control of your behavior in the hands of the one who hurt you, and it places your choices above and before God's commands. That's not how it's supposed to work. Number 2, forgiveness is not denying the harm was ever done. It didn't happen. I just moved on. Those aren't part of God's plans. Denial is always destructive. Number 3, forgiveness is not approving the behavior. In God's plan, hurting someone else is sin, and sin is always a big deal. So big, Jesus died so it could be forgiven, not so it could be endorsed. Number 4, forgiveness is not necessarily cutting off pain. Even after forgiveness is offered, that wound might still hurt. Some of you have experienced horrible circumstances, and that's caused lingering pain. Offering forgiveness may not immediately remove that pain, but I will tell you this: withholding it will always increase your pain. Number 5, forgiveness is not removing consequences. Forgiveness and justice are not mutually exclusive paths. You can forgive and still press charges. You can forgive and still testify in court. Breaking the world's laws has consequences, but breaking God's laws has consequences as well. Failing to forgive for the fear that it might remove consequences from the one who brought you pain, all it does is bring new consequences on you. Number 6, forgiveness is not always reconciliation. Just because you forgive someone does not mean life goes back to normal between you. It only takes one person to forgive, but it takes 2 people to reconcile. You cannot make that reconciliation happen, but you can take the first step as you trust God to complete His work in His time. And number 7, forgiveness is not necessarily trusting. Forgiveness and trust are 2 different things. Forgiveness is letting go of the relationship's past. Trust is embracing the relationship's future. Forgiveness must be immediate, whether or not the person asks for it. But trust has to be rebuilt over time because trust requires a track record. If someone hurts you repeatedly, you're commanded by God to forgive them instantly. But you're not expected to trust them immediately. And you're not expected to continue to allow them to hurt you. So understanding what forgiveness is not enables us to be a people who forgive as we have been forgiven. Forgiveness is offering others exactly what Christ has offered us, the chance to have our wrongs covered by the mercy of the cross. Forgiveness allows our lives to look like the good news of the gospel. So now, Good Life, knowing what forgiveness is not, will you offer forgiveness to the ones who have hurt you? I want us to be a people who are shaped by the gospel, a people who look like the good news. And for that to happen, we not only have to be people who love enough, we got to be a people who forgive enough. So hopefully we'll be able to do that in your life this week, even right now as you think about the people who have hurt you. Maybe you can join us this Sunday at 9:30 and 11 at the church, 11 o'clock online, as we continue our gospel series looking at the moment in human history that makes all forgiveness possible, the moment where Jesus died on the cross. Hopefully we'll be able to join us on Sunday. Until then, hey guys, let's go be a people who love and forgive enough.